We are speaking to a practicing attorney from GS Dlanjwa Attorneys in Klerksdorp. He's been in the field as an attorney. You remember that in 2013 he represented a former mayor of Matlosana and also a former MEC for local government, traditional affairs, Chana Dodofu, in one of his matters. But today we are talking about a matter against one of his clients, ANC MP Sibusiso Kula, who is facing charges of murder that are against him. Another Kanjwa, just tell us about what happened today. The matter has been postponed by Orkney Magistrate Court. Your reaction to this?
Okay, just before I comment on your question, I just want to correct. I never represented Mr. Chana Totovu in the 2013 case as indicated. He was represented by someone else. Yeah, coming to your question, the matter was postponed today to the 26th. Initially, the state had placed on record that it wishes to postpone the matter in order for them to attend to the queries from the DPP's office as well as to get further statements. We are fiercely opposed to the postponement and we wanted to place everything on record. We noted that the machine was not working properly. So we then agreed to a postponement for the fixing of the machine so that we are going to oppose the postponement for further investigation as requested by the state. So we'll be back at court on the 26 April 2023 in Orkney, the district of Matlosana, where we'll be fiercely objecting to the postponement and bringing whatever application that we have to bring.
All right. Director, your client has been denied bail in many occasions up until you took the matter out of the Orkney Magistrate Court, taking it to High Court in Mafikeng, and you received bail. Do you think that the state has a case against your client?
It is so indeed that on 31 January, our client was denied bail.
Sure.
You recall that his first appearance was on 23 January 2023, and then we opposed the postponement because his first appearance, we opposed the postponement. The matter was postponed to the 27th of January 2023 after the judgment was then delivered or handed down by the magistrate on the 31st. It's also public knowledge that the magistrate, the Honorable Easter Reason, refused to admit our client to bail. We had received instructions that we are going to appeal the matter. We took the matter to the High Court, and the matter was allocated to the 24th of February for hearing. Unfortunately, the Magistrates Court's office, clerk of the court's office, dragged their feet in producing the record of the proceedings, of the bail proceedings, as a consequence of which the matter was then struck off the roll because we did not have the record. We relied largely on the judgment that was prepared by the magistrate. Then we came back and then we fought for the record up until it was transcribed, and then it was dispatched to court, and then we allocated the date of the 23rd of March. The judgment was reserved on the 23rd of March, and was handed down by the Honorable Justice Peterson on 4 April 2023, and he was granted bail of 50,000 rands.
Sure. Do you think the state they have a case against your client?
We still believe in our client's case. We believe that the state has not done anything to produce any objective evidence thus far. We don't know what they have, but we do not anticipate or foresee that they will produce any objective facts upon which our client will then be convicted. Be that as it may, however, they bear the onus to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt. We will keep the checks and balances. We'll keep on checking their performances, putting it under judicial scrutiny and challenging it where it needs to be challenged, like we will continue to do. Our client has maintained his innocence, and he has indicated that he wants to clear his name. He has indicated that he wants his day in court. He's willing, he's prepared, he's ready for the trial to commence, if it is ever going to commence. Just bearing in mind that this incident occurred on the 27th November 2022.
Sure.
And our client was only arrested on 20 January 2023. It took almost more than a month, or close to a month, despite the affidavit deposed to by the investigating officer was saying that there are witnesses, and the judge has also lamented that information that was just put on the affidavit, which was not tested, of course. But now the witnesses who heard the quarrel between my client and the deceased, and as to why then it took the investigating officer almost a month for him to effect arrest is unbeknown to us, and actually it militates against logic and common sense.
I'm listening to what you are saying, Gcina, and we know that your client, it's a public knowledge that he's a politician, and at times when such matters are happening, certain people, they tend to assume and allege that this could be a political ploy or plot. You have also indicated that when you go to Mafikeng, the matter was struck off the wall because of certain documents that were not there. Was it your fault that those documents were not there on that day? And also, do you think that the matter against your client, it has to do with his political career?
Well, I wouldn't venture into a conspiracy theory space at the moment. Yes, our client is indeed a political activist. He's a political, is a member of parliament for the ANC.
Sure.
And, well, of course, there are people or politicians who have expressed their views during the court appearances. And I understand as well that in parliament, there are also politicians who have expressed certain sentiments about this matter. But I don't want to get into that space. Ours, we are hired as lawyers to represent Mr. Kula, which is what we are going to do, to discharge our responsibilities in the best interest of our client as the lawyers. That's what we will do. We'll concentrate on the legal aspects of it. We have noted what Judge Peterson has mentioned in his judgment, which was not challenged, which is still authoritative for now. And so therefore, we are going to concentrate on those aspects, and then we will follow the legal wisdom of what the law provides as a guideline in order to assist our client.
Right.
We believe our client's version, his version as opposed to in the affidavit, is simply that on the day in question, I was not present. It was corroborated by what the investigating officer deposed to in his affidavit, that I was not present on that day. I had come to the house and I said we enjoyed dinner, and then I left to rejoin my friends at the Bella Tavern, where we were brainstorming on the about the issues that were to arise at the conference of the ANC or likely to arise at the conference of the ANC, which was held last year from 15 December until 20 December 2022. And on coming back, he found the door opened, the whatever were opened, and the wife was stabbed. Then he rushed the wife to the hospital. To the local clinic. Unfortunately, she was certified that he is pained by what happened. Believe you me, but the people are entering into a space, coming up with theories about past altercations which would have occurred. The judges lamented that why didn't the state bring it in accordance with certain provisions of the Act as amended, which amendments took effect on the 22nd of on the 2nd of August 2022. They did not bring the charge in accordance with that. And so therefore, we just lamented on those aspects. And these are the aspects that will have to be ventilated adequately in a proper forum.
Sure. Director, I want to let you go because I know that there are other matters of other clients that you have to deal with. But let's get to the last question, which I didn't want us to get to the emotions of this case, because I know that in your profession, emotions, they don't work. What is working, it's evidence presented on the table.
Yes.
Two last questions.
Yes.
The community, when they went to this matter, because of the issues of gender-based violence, many of them were not happy. Many political parties, we saw them, including some of the ANC leaders, were there to share their views. How is Ndate Kula been received by the community since now he's out on a bail?
Well, he has been received very well. If you were in attendance at court today, it appeared that most of the people were there were actually in support of Mr. Kula. There's never been any incident that has been reported thus far of the public disturbance or public disorder, whatever the case may be, as they alluded to.
Sure.
These politicians who were speaking, who were loud and speaking during the protest, during his appearance, were not there to be seen today. They were in absence. And none of them is saying anything. I've not heard anything from them. All these public statements that they were making, they were not there today. It is Mr. Kula, his family, and his friends or supporters that were in court today, and us as the legal team backing him up in the process. None of these guys were there, except for the few media guys from your sister organizations or sister media outlets that were there. And then we also conducted an interview with Mr. Kula, who set the record straight, as well as myself, of course, clarified the issues which they needed clarities on.
Sure. Last question. I'm letting you go now. How does he feel? Because I saw in some of the conditions that he was instructed by the court, he's not allowed to see his children indirectly or directly. How does that matter being dealing with him? He spent at least 3 months in jail. How is he feeling?
Yeah, he is pained actually. He is pained, and he has said outside court on the sidelines that, I love my children. I want to fix, I want this to be fixed so that I can go and fix my life, which has been torn asunder. Because I lost a wife, my children lost another, and they cannot afford to lose another parent. So all these people are no longer there that were claiming to offer the support. So he has to deal with the emotional aspect of it. He has indicated that he wants to attend counseling. He told your colleagues in your sister media outlets that he wants to attend counseling in order to fix his life, because his life is torn asunder by this arrest and his stay in prison for almost 4 months.
Director, let me let you go on this note. In the beginning of the interview, you corrected us to say you didn't represent the former mayor, but in fact you represented the family of Chika. Can you confirm that as we say thank you for your
Yes,
time?
I had a worship brief on behalf of the Chika family.
All right. Director, thank you so much for your time and thank you so much for speaking to us.
Okay, thank you.
All right.